Hello, this is Captain Poodle speaking. Are you ready to find love?
Yes, ahoy, matey.
Love. Exciting and new. Go online. They're catfishing you.
Shocker.
Fiancé.
Soon you'll be flying to parts unknown.
90-day Beyonce.
Marrying someone you only met on your phone.
Be they French or Chinese, a brand new K1 visa's the key.
Ooh, the key to what, Poodle?
To love.
It's reality, gang. Let's love.
You know what I always say? That's when people say what?
What?
Don't maybe have to spoon feed you the whole show.
Well, I didn't know if you were going or not.
You know what I always say?
What?
Life is like a box of chocolates. I want to bite every one of them.
She fucked
No,
that up.
wait, let me do it again. Life is like a box of chocolates.
Cut.
I want to take a bath with them.
I want to.
Life is like a box of chocolates. It's all good except for the maple ones. Does that work?
I love the maple ones.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
No, they're awful.
I enjoy those.
You're weird.
I don't like things with cherry.
Those are also awful.
My dad loves chocolate-covered cherries.
They're too sweet.
I don't enjoy them.
We've had this conversation before, and
I
I'm
don't
not doing it
enjoy
again.
them.
No, the maple ones are rank.
I enjoy them.
No.
Not cheap chocolates. Nice chocolates. Y'all don't send me chocolates. I don't want them.
This is this weird bonus episode
Yes.
of Single Life. The couples tell more because evidently, they. I don't want to say evidently.
Well, this, can I just preface? This is the feeling I got from this.
Yeah.
Picture it.
No.
You're laying in your bed. The sun is rising. One guy's showering. Two other guys are putting on their clothes. You've just been fucked to oblivion.
Yeah.
And you think you're done. And then you hear... And that one guy on Grindr who was on the group text finally shows up 3 hours late.
Yeah.
And you're like...
Is he hung?
Ish. He's like a nice 6 inches, but it's thick.
But that's fine. I disagree. I don't think that's like this at all. Because at least that was good.
Well, no, I was about to say...
You're tired
so
of
you
it?
tell yourself, I'm going to have sex more. But as he crawls on top of you, you go, I'm tired and I'm sore and I don't want this right now. But you're in it and you got to take it anyway because you said yes.
That's fair. That's
how I felt.
I was saying that it was like this season had already like pooped out all the turds possible.
Oh wow.
And
That's gross.
then they found
That's
some
grosser than me.
They
Keep
found
going.
some turd shards left over. And so they put them together like turd clay and they molded it into a final turd.
Final turd.
That was molded from a lot of other turds.
Yeah.
And this is the Franken-turd that we get.
Just let that be a lesson, y'all. He can say whatever he wants, but Poodle's always going to be grosser than me.
That's not true. I have the ability, but I don't always say it.
So we're back there and back again.
The singles tell more.
Hobbit's tale of Ed, who we're not going to talk about.
No, we're not.
We're going to talk
Still.
a little bit, y'all, but remember, we don't talk about him.
I want to... It reminded me, how long has it been since we've discussed these people? 4 or 5 months?
4 or 5 months. I will say parts of this tell-all,
I liked.
like 10%, were more interesting to me than any other part of the other tell-alls.
Agree.
Because there was moments where they felt like they actually were having a real conversation.
Like motherfucking Tania.
Okay.
I'm going to call her Tanya from now on
You know
because
what?
she is the fucking hero.
I've decided after this too, forevermore, we will call her Tanya because
Queen Tanya, the
Queen
first of her
Tanya,
name.
Because I realize now, St. John completely gaslit her and made her look
100%.
crazy.
I agree with you. And
Tanya, we are sorry.
the thing it's always going to be hard for her to get past is when she left him for like a month of the 90 days.
Forget about that. Forget about that.
Now, the two things, I'm sorry. The two things she'll never get past are when she left him for a month and she said he's not her soulmate.
Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
Remember that moment? Now,
I still think we need to call her Tanya, even though that makes me want to
agree.
call her Tania again.
I agree. However, those two things pale to what he
Pale.
probably put her through.
Pale.
Yeah, I agree. I think, and what's interesting is I'm sure the edit she got on her season was rough. I can only imagine. Because in Happily Ever After, she got a much better edit. She burned that pink shirt.
She did.
And she started
did.
wearing her seatbelt.
She did.
Yeah.
Which she said she was wearing her seatbelt. She just put it under her tits. So we just didn't see it.
Got it.
Because she has ample bosoms.
They are
So they could cover
large
up
and
a
in
seatbelt.
charge.
Yes. And you know, one of our sissies in our Facebook group interviewed for a job with her.
Said
and
she was lovely. Absolutely lovely.
Really lovely.
Yeah.
So Tania,
kudos.
we see you.
Tanya.
I'm sorry, yes. Tanya, we see you.
We feel you.
We apologize, maybe.
I apologize for about 60% of what I said.
I'll go with that. I'll say maybe 62%, not much
Yeah.
more. But yes, we apologize. And
I'd like to hang out with you. I think we'd have fun. Do I think that unfortunately, her and her mom are still kind of boring on Pillow Talk. She
Really?
did make it about her, the thing that I watched. Yeah. But it's infinitely better than Kimbali, who I did watch a little bit of.
people love Kimbali and her son. You're the
she
only
is-
person I've said that didn't like
the
it.
son is great. He's providing like younger thing. She is so awkward on television.
Really?
It is hard to
You're
watch.
the only person I've heard say that. Literally, I've had like 10 sissies message me and say, they're so great.
No, I don't like her.
I believe you, but I'm just saying that I'm just surprised by
I'm
that.
an Enneagram 4. I'm an enigma wrapped in a riddle.
Do you don't think that's not colored though by maybe
That I
how
hate
much
her?
you despise her on the show?
Possibly.
Okay. How hot is her son?
Gorgeous.
God.
They also have a refrigerator in like that's right there in their living room.
It's maybe they're living maybe it's a basement, and they want to go back
and
upstairs.
it's in the shot. It's really ugly.
Okay.
I invite you to watch because she says things like, "Oh, it's like this is so interesting." It's like it reminds me of how when I was young. I can't really talk about you because you're my son, and it's like it's so awkward, and she's trying to be funny, and it falls flat.
Really?
Yeah, he's interesting. He actually keeps it going, but
God, he's hot.
he's really hot.
I just would. I'm not even into this, but I just feel like with him, I just let him just have some 6-pack of beer and smoke a doobie, and I just suck his dick for an hour.
What do you mean you're not into that? That's exactly
that's
what
exactly
you're into.
what I'm into. That's exactly what I'm into.
And they're like looking at your phone. Their phones. That's what you're into.
You know what? He could look at his phone. I don't care.
You're
Yeah, turn on Timey.
you're
We got stuff to do.
you're okay with being ignored.
Yes. Y'all, we got stuff to do because we're doing a collab later. It's already aired because this episode dropped on Friday. But if you haven't listened to, on our Patreon, we did a collab with Kim and Kyle from Cray Cray about Plathville. I'm
Yay.
excited. We've never talked to them about a show that's not 90 Day.
That's true.
So
I think I take credit for getting them into Plathville.
maybe did you?
I
don't think
both
you
of
have.
us.
I don't think you. I don't.
We
Did we talk to them
we
about
wouldn't
it?
stop fucking talking about it. Yes.
Okay, sure. Now, any other announcements? Go to our website's working now. Thank you, Drew. Go to realitygaze.com, or you can go to our
live
Linktree
show
link.
tickets.
Live show tickets. Our 10 millionth download shows in San Diego. We're talking about planning. We're talking about plans for that now, although we still have to plan the first part of our tour. Costumes have been ordered.
Yes.
Columbus. I'm so worried I'm not going to be able to fit into what we bought for that show.
No, that's Detroit.
Well, Columbus too. I always worry about fitting into it. So anyway,
not every show has costumes. Don't wind them up like
every show
this.
is going to have costumes.
That's not
this
true.
time.
That's not
Everyone.
true. Well, I guess you better get to buying them.
What costume do you buy for Ohio? Just like a
Meth head.
okay. Well, I see why people haven't come. Why people aren't buying tickets.
Danielle.
Now that's a costume I could get.
Just a pair of kind of like old acid wash jeans and a Kato top.
Yeah, she just posted a picture of her and Mohammed. They're friends now.
She's
needs to
still
stay
in love
away
with
from
him
a little bit. You
yeah,
know she is.
I know. She needs better friends than those three witches. But although I don't know anyone who would be friends with
that's the
her.
best she could get. I really think
Laura
it is.
Alexa Michelle. That's said in one word.
Yep.
Laura Alexa Michelle.
Said in one word.
Laura Alexa Michelle.
I think that's it for now. Anything else?
No.
No. Oh wait, yes, y'all. Love in Paradise. It drops tomorrow on Saturday night.
Right, because this is Friday.
Mhm. Love in Paradise is coming out. The
I
first
can't
two
keep this in my
episodes are going to
head.
be on our free feed, and then if you like it, jump on the $5 tier.
You will like it. It is so good.
It's going to be the same thing we did for The Single Life. It's going to go on our Patreon and Supercast, and then when it airs on TLC, it'll go out for everybody.
Watch me say it's so good and this season be garbage.
Oh, I'm sorry. When you have a lesbian couple introducing a man
Yeah.
or a queer women couple, and then two gay men, this is going to be fire.
I know what I need to talk about, it's been playing over and over again in my mind since I watched it last night.
What?
The new season of Seeking Sister Wife is out.
People are talking about it.
It is bedlam.
People are. It's all over our Facebook group.
I can't even tell you what the nuttiness,
'Cause-
the crazy, and also the delusion of they're all mostly the men.
You got really sucked into that show.
I will, y'all. I'm gonna offer it as a bi-curious option for this month for sure. But I don't know if we'll have time to do it. We're already doing Love in Paradise, and so that's kind of our $5 Patreon.
No, we're not going to do it. I don't
Yeah,
want to do
it's
that
just-
whole show. It's too creepy for me.
Oh, it's so good.
I don't want to watch it and talk about it. It's too much.
So blame her, y'all.
Sorry.
Come at her.
Come at me. Maybe you could do a collab. Maybe you could do it yourself with Surviving Sister Wives.
Yeah.
They're fun. I love
Maybe
that. That was
I
good.
could.
That
I
means
could.
it's not. I was trying to suggest an avenue for you to speak to it. But I'll do it by curious for sure. There's a lot of shit though coming out this summer.
Yeah, June is
We're
pretty
getting
full.
it's a joyous time to like trash TV.
I just will say, if you're like, polygamy skeeves me out, you know what it does for me too, but I'm completely fascinated with polygamy
You are.
and how polygamy works and people who choose polygamy. This season, we don't have the really problematic Snowdens who left. They're gone, Dimitri and Ashley, for obvious reasons,
they were
if you know
horrible.
that. But I think there were like a lot of allegations levied. I think Ashley is not with Dimitri anymore.
Okay. All right.
You can all Google it. I don't even want to talk about it now. And sadly, the guy who has the voice like this, who I kind of liked, is not on anymore.
Okay.
And the scary couple, the throuple last time with the black band and the woman and the black throuple. He was always saying things like I'm the king.
Yeah.
There was a weird energy from him
Are
the
they
whole way
gone?
through. They're not there either.
Oh, okay.
Sidian and his wife Tasha are back. I never liked them,
I
but
have a feeling that you're talking about these gross people are gone. I don't think they're going to be replaced with wonderful people.
No, there's a whole new truckload of trash.
I think that's the point of the show.
Woo! There is a guy who says, yeah, I'm more of a thinker. I like to stay at home and read about particle physics while the women go out. He's like, because the chessboard, the king kind of stays there and the women go out and do things.
Oh, wow.
And I'm more of a thinker. And then I explain it to them later so that their lady brains can take it in. Oh,
wow.
It is. And they're courting a new wife, and I posted it in the Sissy Squad of Danielle, which is very... Oh, I'll talk about Danielle and Garrett in just a second, the Merrifields. Holy fuck. I can't... I could barely sleep last night after I watched this episode.
You love this show.
I love it. It's awful. So, like, y'all, if I could do all the trash I want, this is trash of the highest order, and it's not hate wash trash. This is car wreck trash.
Okay,
slow car wreck, messy people trash.
And is there anything we've covered that you feel like any cringe tier shows that
very
that
similar to? It's very similar to me, you and my ex. Okay. But less of the sinking feeling.
Okay.
That
I know
happens.
that feeling. Yeah.
Yes.
I know that feeling. Yeah.
Less and similar to Extreme Sisters, but the constant nausea isn't there for me.
Okay.
But I will say the people there was a woman named Danielle who came on the screen in what a sissy said, I think she stole Kelly Bundy's wardrobe.
Oh, wow.
And it says 22 on the screen, and that is by 10 years.
Wait, I saw that picture on the Facebook group.
Yes.
Of the woman in the red.
That is her.
She's 22.
She is,
I thought she was
22.
I thought she was 42 years of age and trying to dress like a 22-year-old.
And the date was
who works at a casino outside of Vegas. Not in Vegas.
It is so good. It is so... The whole date... I just scream laugh the entire time. It is messy as shit. I can cry now thinking about how happy it makes me feel.
Oh,
so don't awe me.
Good.
So
why can't I be happy for your happiness?
But the Merrifields, y'all, with Garrett and Danielle. Danielle has found some first wife energy. Because she is knocking them down like Jean Triplehorn. She is, and because Bert is still in Brazil. Because after, you never really saw, but Bert, did you see an episode with Bert?
Welcome to our recap of Sister Wives here on Reality Gaze.
But
never
I'm
saw
sorry,
that, no.
this is on my mind.
Send the messages to Jake It or Fake It.
This is on my heart right now. So I need to talk about something that's on my heart.
Is that Mama's too? It's Mama's
I miss them. Don't distract me. So the Merrifields, they found Bert and they met her in Mexico. And then
a woman named Bert.
Yes,
Yeah. Okay.
He fucked Bert in the bed while Danielle was there.
In the bed as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And now, so Bert's been having, she's been a little cagey with them. They're finding another wife, a very, very tall black woman. And
does Bert have short hair?
No, she's Brazilian. She does have adult braces though.
Okay. Okay.
I wish I was making any of this up, but I'm not. If you don't watch the show, you're missing out. There are also lots of other podcasts who cover it, most on their Patreon, but it is totally worth it. Jump in for the crazy. I'm a big evangelist of this show.
Surviving Sister Wives is great, y'all, if you want a podcast for that.
Yes.
We love them.
Yes. There's a couple other, I think Mary Payne and Aaron do it on their Patreon.
Oh, they do?
Well. Mm-hmm.
I didn't know they did it for Pink Shade.
Yep. I think Kyle and Kim have done some of it.
They do?
Yeah. I'm telling you, everyone likes this show but you.
It's not that I don't like it. It's just,
it creeps you out.
I just feel afterwards, it's like watching like footage of the Oklahoma City bombing on loop. I just feel terrible about humanity after I watch too much of it. It's interesting because
I begged not to do Extreme Sisters for the same reason. But you made me.
It's cringe tier.
So is this.
But aren't these more episodes, though, too? They're like a bigger commitment.
Not really.
Oh, well.
They're 10 episodes.
Okay.
We'll see. So, but anyway, so there's a new sister wife, and they're kind of talking, and they're like, let's go call Bert when we have the new sister wife here, Leah, or the potential sister wife. And Daniel's like, this is our new sister wife, Bert. It is amazing. She's just shoving it down her throat. It is. I'm here for Danielle's revenge season. That's what I'm here for. Anyway, I'm talking with such glee. Let's talk about this show. St. John.
Anything to not have to talk about these people again. But here we are.
You know, I agree. I felt like this was. I felt like even the production of this was a little sad. Like, here's what we got.
Yeah, I just was. Why would they wait so long? But like I said, some parts of it were good, and I think the most
aired on TLC.
Yeah, the most riveting parts for me actually were the Tania and St. John segments.
Tanya.
Sorry, yes, it's just habit.
It's gonna be hard.
Tanya. It could begin because no one spells Tanya like that.
It is. We've been told in some Latin American countries and some Spanish pronunciations, it is
that's
Tanya.
How you spell. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I stand corrected.
And if it was our pronunciation, it would be a little accent above the I.
Oh,
to
for
show us Tania. Yeah.
Okay. Tanya.
Tanya.
Okay, so we watched this fight again of their last night together. That was horrible. Where if you don't remember, St. John kind of emotionally vomits all of this anger at her, and we were like, "Whoa!" He does apologize to her and say that was embarrassing to him.
It's kind of an apology. He apologizes to everybody, saying, "I was embarrassed." He's kind of talking about his feelings,
and he said, you know, he did say I was embarrassed, but he said I apologize for that. Then this is kind of what was good is that Shaun Robinson finally asked. This is like the producers were off in her ear, and they let her speak on her own.
And they let her finally or say something.
Because she said a question that I wish she would ask every tell-all. When we interview people, she said, what do you think happened that the viewers didn't see? And I went, what? And that's where Tanya said, before he came here, he promised he would do all these things. Like he promised he would go to therapy. And she said, people see me reacting. I'm not crazy. It's that I was told one thing and I'm upset because I'm not getting what I was promised. And I went,
he gaslit her.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
No wonder she was pissed off all the time.
No, because I bet they talked about this therapy, but how many more things do you think St. John just said, yeah, sure, I'll do.
Yeah. No, that it's Scottish St. John, yes.
St. John.
And of course, Ed has to chime in and said, that's what I found in therapy. And Debbie's like, shut the fuck up, Ed.
Yeah, Mom. And because St. John just says, I thought therapy was absolute bullshit. And then we find out that he said, so I didn't want to do it. He said, but we did couples therapy. And St. John says, couples therapy was bullshit. And Tom just says, you said it was bullshit because the therapist said what we said of, holy shit, y'all have a lot to work through.
Yeah,
this is going to be a lot of work.
And when someone asks, so how long do you think it'll be till we're done? And it's like when people ask me that with voice lessons, it's like, I can't give you a length of time.
It was always the craziest fucking people that would come to me and say, hey,
when will I be done?
Go through this, and they're like, they're telling me, so, I'm a 48-year-old man, but I've been fucking my mother for 2 years. When are we going to be done with this? Like 6 weeks?
How long will this take to get the motherfucker out of
me? And I was like, yeah, exactly. How long will this take? And those are always the worst ones.
How long till I stop wanting to bang my mom?
That's a good joke.
Thank you. And Tony even says he has a lot of childhood trauma that he projects into his relationships. And
that's what was fascinating.
Truth. That's a truth bomb.
We find out about him, and later on with Natalie, we find out, y'all, why they are a big kind of like big bricks in the foundation of who they are.
Yeah.
It
So,
was kind of riveting for real.
The show should have been called Daddy Issues? ?
Yes.
This version.
Yes.
So, and
because Sinjin says, well, I don't believe I have to be in a situation that I don't want. If I don't want to be there, I don't have to be in that situation. And I wrote, and there we are. And there is the reason why you're still a fucking adult and you're never going to have commitment to anyone.
he's just banging his way across the Southwest, y'all.
Yeah,
getting VD with every truck stop.
with his stank ass feet. And Tanya even says, it's getting into my mouth now. Tanya even says he sabotages every relationship, and she said it kills me because he's such a good person. She said, but you act like you have freedom and you act so nonchalant about everything.
She read him for fucking filth.
Read him for fucking filth.
That's all I have about them.
I would hang out with Tanya. What
would.
is wrong with me?
I would.
Remember how terrible though she was when she got drunk in wherever she was? Was she in Panama? Where was she? Panama. Where was
Costa Rica?
she? Costa Rica.
I can't remember.
Remember how she was so terrible when she was drunk?
Yeah. That first season was rough on her.
You would Irish goodbye her. You'd hang out with her, and then you would leave, and I would have to stay with her and comfort her.
That would be you.
That's exactly what would happen.
So let's talk about Todd and Margot, Jesse and Jennifer. Margot.
This was kind of great, though, too, to see Jennifer. Again, they kind of, I feel like in this tell-all, except for Ed, but they actually, the shit that we felt like was never addressed, they called out.
They did, and I'm not certain why in a 2-part tell-all, why we had so much crap that didn't matter and them fighting with one another when the tell-all, this little bit of 42 minutes told us more.
I agree with that.
Whether we wanted to know it or not.
It's like they want to air just the fighting and yelling at each other.
Yeah.
I will say, you're not going to like this, but this tell-all did remind me, I do love The Single Life. It's one, I love this iteration of the show.
I think season 1 was really good. I think season 2 was not.
I disagree with. I think season 2 was great, except for Stephanie, and we didn't watch Ed. But Natalie was.
But Jennifer and Jesse. I think there were lots of people. The only one I cared about was Debbie at the end.
Oh, Debbie, but Natalie was still.
That was messy.
It was just, but she was so and Tanya and Sinjin when he left in the morning and they broke up.
But that was the only compelling thing. Then it was
after he left Tanya.
Right.
It was totally
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if you can say it was better, a better season. I found it it's just kind of like non-interesting trash.
Okay. So yes, so we're talking with, what did you call them?
Todd and Margot.
They go into the fight, the slap, where basically she's asking Jesse about his Instagram, and he says, well, you've gotten paid to do posts with other people.
Did they pay you to go out on a date with them? That was a comment. And you guys, this is like just cognitive dissonance. They will not admit when something is right there, and they just stare at the camera.
This is someone who is a sociopath and a narcissist will do.
They
called him on that.
It was amazing to watch Shaun say, can we roll that clip back, Gary?
Finally!
Can we roll that clip back?
Is this the applause button?
Yes.
Finally, someone actually said, Gary, can you roll that clip back?
And y'all, they did it.
We see it.
And they weren't even fazed. However, everyone on the stage was like, they just got called out finally.
Finally.
Veronica and Tim were dying.
They were dying. And Tanya even said, this is what gaslighting is. You're apologizing now. And you see even Jennifer's like, I don't understand. No, and she's making that kind of stank, like if she just farted.
she loves that face.
Like she's like, And
after a while, Tanya kind of gave up talking. She's like, she realized Jennifer doesn't even give a shit about how she is and how she appears.
Because because Tanya says, you didn't misunderstand. You did not
He said
misunderstand.
that. He called her a call girl.
Veronica, yeah, he called her a call girl. And Veronica says, or Tim says, look, I don't like Jesse. And Jesse's like, your illusion. You should shut the fuck up.
It is an illusion that you would talk to me that way.
Jesse's like, and Tim, Chester Cheetah comes back, and what does he say, Boots?
There's no need for violence.
No
need.
I loved it when Tim said, and you should shut the fuck up because I'm about to give you a
shut the fuck up because I'm going to give you a compliment, boy.
I never did. I loved him.
Me too.
I loved him and
even
Veronica.
that awful silver suit he was wearing.
It was not a good suit, but I loved it. That's his way. That's his way.
Did you notice that Jesse basically said, no, I said something that I meant the words that I said, but you think that I meant something different than the words that I said, and the words that I said meant something different to you. So that's how I still didn't say anything wrong.
Exactly. And then Shaun said, wait a minute. So you don't think, just to clarify, yeah, again, this is Shaun actually finally holding them to the fire.
I've never seen her do this before.
It's the best Shaun Robinson we've had. And
Yeah.
she said, so you don't think she gets paid to go on dates? And then we see...
Of course not.
No. Before that, we see Yennefer go, fart face.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I cannot believe, Shaun,
How
you
rude.
even asked the
How
question.
rude.
That is so rude. And then Shaun says, well... I'm the host of this show, so I'm going to ask it again,
Yes!
bitch.
She had to bring... It's so quiet. No one will ever hear
Well,
it.
no one can ever hear.
She had to bring out the host card twice.
Oh, she brings that later. We'll talk about that.
So she does say,
It's
Shaun
great.
says, I ask the questions because I'm the host of the show. And
Louder for the back.
And I wrote down, as she sips her 4-hour-old latte that had like a little bit of spittle in the bottom of
fucking
it.
metal straw, which are fine. Metal straws are good.
I don't ever want to see them again.
Never.
Those two.
Never. Never.
If they're ever on anything before, do we have to cover them? They haven't done anything, but I think we might have
Yeah,
to.
we're gonna have
but
to.
God, I hate them so much.
It's our job. It's our job to cover them because so that way other people don't have to watch it.
True.
Unless
they're
it's
sickening.
the way I feel about Angela. Until Angela actually does something that's so like egregious or involves the law.
Yeah.
It's why like with Ed, we're not covering him,
because
we've
it was
got
so horrible.
Yeah. Do you want to take a break and then talk about Mother Debbie?
Hey, Mom, we're on TV again. You excited?
Pee-wee, we're here to talk about the dry spell. 15 years. Except it's a home remedy that I had. We love a little home remedy. You know what I'm talking about? A home remedy? Don't get involved when I've got my home remedy, Pee-wee.
Mom, you know when you turn that thing on, it makes me go crazy.
Jane, stop this crazy thing. That was the vibrator chandelier screen.
Yes.
So
Kind of hurt my head.
So we're talking about her date with Jay, who was a mole person. And she's like,
He was just nothing but a rat bastard. A rat bastard.
and she basically says, I'm old, I'm too tired to play these games.
If y'all remember, they went on one date, right?
Right. Yeah.
They went on one date.
He
and it was
ghosted her.
Good. I thought they had a good first date, I thought.
That was another person.
So
Yeah.
he goes, so this was, they show up for the date and he leaves like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
And he's like,
and they Google him.
yes.
And he's married. And she's
older
basically,
than what he said.
Yes. And he deletes his dating app profile. And they're like, let's just call him.
Let's just call
They
him.
leave a voicemail, and it's this.
Hey, Jay, this is Debbie. You're on TV. Why are you lying about your age? You can just give me a call. And I got my friend Pee-wee here, and he's going to say...
Yeah, you lied to my mom again. I'm going to give you a new neck, Jay.
You know what, Jay?
Mom, let's make it mincemeat.
I'm gonna let this here mole of mine kill you if he wants to, because he's been deserving blood for quite a while now.
Don't fuck with me. I get in places you never know about.
You ain't seen what a mole can do. So tell your wife I said hi. Peace.
Yeah, I'll kill her too. Bye.
Bye.
It's basically the content of the
That
message.
basically was it. They gave him a call and he didn't answer.
Debbie.
So then we move on to Natalie and Josh. Josh is so hot.
Sissies. Maybe you sent it before and I don't remember. I need to
It's a
see
big old dick.
big dick. He's a model or modeling agent. Y'all,
He's modeled before.
I need to see his Instagram.
Yeah, I want to see
Because he was
too.
wearing a long sleeve shirt and we could just see his tattoos under the shirt. Y'all, Josh, it is a beautiful, beautiful penis.
It is. It is. So
Ooh. Ooh.
Natalie always
doesn't know.
Natalie, the best thing of what makes Natalie such a good reality quote star unquote is that she is completely oblivious to how she appears.
It's, and it's
and
a
the things
perfect
that
combination.
she says gives her away.
Well, it's a combination that she's oblivious to how she appears and she can't help herself to be authentically raw.
Absolutely right.
It's the perfect combination of a reality star.
It's why you can. First of all, no one loves her. It's very easy to hate her, but at the same time, there's something that you kind of identify with, and you can go, "You're crazier than a shithouse rat," but I can't stop watching
Yeah,
you.
she is. Natalie is our inside voice personified.
Yeah.
So Natalie's like, oh, now I see you dressed up. Before you were just a simple guy. I'm impressed.
So now that he looks like he has money, she's
Yep.
all about him.
She's all into it. But they bring up, he has 2 different kids with 2 different women.
This sounds so prudish.
It does, but
We find out why.
we find out Natalie says, my father left my mother and had another family with another woman, and we never saw him again.
Right. So-
and I went, and now it makes sense.
Why was that never brought up?
Why? Thank you.
That is storytelling 101.
That is literally the basis of everything, of every crack in Natalie that has
Of all of her decisions.
all of her
Yeah,
decisions.
she was looking for a father, and St. John's like, yeah, my father left too. And Stephanie's like, wait, so did my father.
So did my
And,
father.
Like, everyone is like, and Debbie's like,
Come think of it, I never had a father. I just appeared here one day.
Mom, I just realized what happened to Dad. What happened to Daddy, Mom?
I cut your daddy mole off my face when I was really much younger.
I need to go fuck someone anonymously.
It really was everybody.
everyone had father issues. Everyone was looking for their father in their relationship.
It even makes sense from where Natalie. I'm not saying this is an excuse for bad behavior.
No.
But if you look at it, when Natalie freaked out remember when Mike believed in aliens and she wanted him to go to church so bad when they were back in Ukraine?
Yeah.
That makes sense now why she wanted him to be connected to faith, because I bet you her dad wasn't as either.
Right. It's interesting where she was like, Josh basically says, yeah, we had a couple of dates because, this was filmed way, way back before the season was even, during when the season was airing.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling they're probably not together now because he realized that Natalie was cuckoo crazy
yeah.
for Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah.
And he said,
Can you imagine Natalie as a stepmother to kids?
no, absolutely not. She would not treat anyone's children who weren't hers well.
Nope.
And Josh basically says, yeah, her still being married has put on the brakes a little bit.
Good call. Use that, Josh.
And she's like, he looks great. More than Jesse.
Look better than Jesse.
Again, that is an inside voice.
Yeah.
But
And so Shaun asked Natalie, would you have a child by yourself? She said, I would.
I
would.
love hearing that.
I did too. She's like, and she said, I didn't have a father, so she said my model was having a single mom, and that's where Stephanie talked about her father left her, but Sinjin not only says my dad, but he says my real father. It was really kind of
He said, I didn't have a hero.
harrowing to hear. Yeah, my real father abandoned me when I was 3 years old. I don't have a hero. He said, I grew up without having someone to look up to and have someone to to kind of root for in my life. And you
Talk
go,
about brokenness.
wow, now I get you.
Yeah.
And the thing
Maybe
is,
this was better than I thought it was.
like, that's what was riveting to me about this tell-all is because
Yo,
that's
I hate
when I
everything
went,
initially.
now, because Tanya knew this. Because Tanya loves deep conversations or whatever she thinks it is. So she got this out of him, and she knew this from the get-go. And then Natalie said, I don't know. Maybe I'm not ready.
Yeah, and
Cut to producer Natalie, you ready to sing a lady? Oh, yes, I need father for child. yes.
I want to have child now.
I want to have child now.
Did you notice when Tanya said, so maybe you're not ready to date, to Natalie?
And that's when, yeah.
And I was like, look at you doling it out. Now, Tanya has an advice podcast where she talks about relationships.
I would guest on her advice podcast.
I wouldn't listen, though.
You wouldn't.
I'd be a guest.
And I would publicly apologize to her on her podcast.
I think I would apologize,
and say,
too.
I am sorry.
Yo, if you're friends with Tanya, tell her.
We will.
I don't think she knows who we are.
No idea. Hopefully, you know what? If she doesn't know who we are and never listened,
It's
that's
all
better.
the better.
That's better.
Especially her first season.
That's better.
When I
That's
think
better.
I said I'd never hated someone more.
You did. You did. You did.
Boy, that first season was rough.
Oh, it was.
Boy. Oh, wow.
Remember when he got his finger tattooed at that wedding?
God,
They had
that
it sit
wedding,
all through
I'd
that.
rather not talk about it because it makes me angry. The wedding that had no color scheme
That
to
didn't-
speak of.
No.
And they just did stuff that morning.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And just made their wedding party do shit.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, you're going to start calling her to me again.
Can we get into Stephanie and Fred?
Yes, but I just want to say, there's a difference of not talking about someone's body, and I don't want to do that. But I will say, I was anxious the whole time, just thinking her tit was
Her
going to pop
nipple,
out.
her areola was going to
Because
wave.
the dress was just so low, and
And the thing is, I was like, no one in wardrobe helped you put some tape on it.
it just was, yeah.
There was one boob that was just trying to get away the whole
Yes.
time. They switched off,
Yes, yes.
depending
So,
on which way she turned.
it's not that I'm talking about the way her breasts look. I'm just talking about they were like,
Well, there was no bra.
just not covered up.
There was no bra.
practically. It was just, I was like, ah.
And the dress is not the
I
dress
felt like
is not
Mohammed
a dress.
on a date with
Right.
Eve's friends. Mohammed.
But the dress wasn't a dress that you wear with boobs her size.
No, it was not a good
Right.
dress. Not a good dress.
Because it was kind of like
Yes, it's
wrappy.
less about her body.
Yeah.
It's actually about the clothes she's wearing. And that I feel comfortable commenting on. It was not a nice dress. Looked like a 90.
Yeah. Anyway, we see Fred, who's, y'all, I want Fred. Fred should have been in that show a lot more because he was funny. I still say on the show, this version, he looked kind of scuzzy.
He was funny, but what's the real reason why you want him on more?
I kind of want to bang him.
I know you do.
I liked the Fred I saw in the season better. This Fred looked like he'd smelled a little bit more.
Poodle in his late 20s would have been.
Oh my God, I would have been all over
this
Fred.
guy.
He's in a band where Doc Martens. Y'all know you would have too in high school.
'Cause
You
he
would have
doesn't-
done it.
Y'all, he doesn't have a big dick.
No, but he's so fucking kind of douchey charming
Yeah.
because he doesn't really care about what people think about him.
No, he doesn't.
And that is so attractive to me.
He was entertaining. Him wanting to, I think he actually probably would at least
Like,
maybe
you are
try to.
so young, dude.
I bet he'd try to bang Mother Debbie just to do it.
He did that.
I think he would.
So,
He looks good to me. I like the beard.
so then she says,
Tickles me.
This just tells me when, and I know it's uncomfortable when I say this, but I feel like she's never talked about it, but Stephanie definitely had some type of sexual trauma. We've talked about it,
that for sure.
And like she said, I was very young, and I told everyone I didn't know how to kiss, but I told everyone I was the blowjob queen, and I'd never done one before.
Well, it's just they're the overtly sexualization of herself.
Yeah.
So we learned it's not even after, but even before she had experience, she was
Yes.
lying about it, saying, and so yeah, it really just all arrows point to sexual trauma.
And just like, ugh. That's why why one of the is watching her is talk about things that are funny to her is like watching a really scary car crash.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
So she was talking about she didn't want to lose her celibacy that to him because we were like friends. And anyway, it was a kind of a weird moment, but all I can think of is Stephanie, unfortunately, I'm sure she's been to therapy, but they've never really gotten to the root of why she is the way she is.
I could see Stephanie would have to have a very
aggressive therapist.
no, actually I was going to say confrontational therapist.
Yeah.
And someone who has experience, because I feel like when I was younger as a trainee, she's so smart. She's very
Exactly.
smart. She's very articulate.
She'll fool you.
And she's a bullshitter. So it's not even fooling you. She will talk around problems so easily and distract you more.
And she's perceptive about everyone's situation but hers.
But her own.
And that's the person who is the hardest to help, and it's the person who's the hardest to get through to. Like,
Yeah.
I think I mentioned where I would like to sit across from her in a single lighted room and say, stop the bullshit. Stop it. Stop
Yeah.
it. Stop it. Stop it. And maybe within 36 straight hours of that, she'd finally...
48.
But it's that
Because
kind of...
she would get hot and then she would have to take breaks to jar her boob sweat.
But that's
Because
the
she's
kind
doing
of
that
thing.
now, y'all.
Yes, boob sweat, right. Her sweat.
Because she ate too many beans from selling her farts and was getting gastrointestinal issues. So now she's just doing boob sweat.
Yeah, there's something about her, and it you know what it is? It is the claim that she's authentic when she could not be more phony.
Yeah.
At the very root of who she is.
She has no idea who she is.
Yeah, and
No idea.
ooh, I tell you what, that it rubs me. It's like my own, like it's like the worst smell possible for me.
It makes me very sad for her.
Yeah. Oh, she
But-
bothers the fuck out of me.
And then, y'all, that's basically, we're going to talk a little bit. They're going to go into Liz and Big Ed. We're not going to talk about them. But I will say, why did Shaun Robinson just start asking everybody about threesomes? It was kind of
Okay.
like she said, well, what else y'all want to, you know what? Who's had a threesome?
What was this? Was there I have to ask this. Was there a plan to do TLC After Dark?
I don't know.
Where
well,
they would
did
just
do 90 Day Bears All, which we've only watched snippets. I think that still airs. We
but
don't watch that
they
series.
don't curse. Or maybe they do, but they can't air
I think they do in Bears All.
they
but
can't air it
I
on
don't-
TLC.
No.
then. But this felt like this was kind of something quasi-sexual.
Yeah, it made no sense.
And then they were like, so what kind of threesomes was it? 2 women? 2 guys? And Sinja's like, no, don't even touch my balls.
Like someone could touch. Yeah, it made no sense.
And then Vanessa's like, yeah, I've had it all.
She's like, had the. Jennifer and Jesse, of course, have.
yeah.
And-
I kept writing, why are we doing this?
And
Why
also,
are we doing
yeah,
this?
that's what I wrote. And I wrote, who cares? I think the only thing that we need to talk about, and what a wonderful way to end on, is that. So Liz and Ed, their section, y'all, full on starts. And like Shaun said, so
Yeah.
let's talk about Liz and Ed.
Before you say that, I want to remind everyone that Liz was wearing the worst possible dress of the entire.
And we did not like Stephanie's dress. Liz's
True.
was even
No,
worse.
Liz's dress was one of the worst things I've seen someone wear on television.
Yeah.
It didn't work with her coloring. Her makeup was bad. Her hair was bad.
She looked bad.
That strange, like, postural kind of hunch that she does.
Well, because she kind of lays on Ed like a tick.
And now Liz has become her own separate kind of terrible besides Ed.
Really, because
Apart from him.
Remember, we felt so.
We were
so
saying,
sad
run,
for her,
Liz.
yeah.
Run. Now we're like, oh, you belong together. I get it.
You're both just not ethical people.
Yeah.
And by the way, y'all, if you're in San Diego for a 10 million anniversary, apparently we're 3 blocks from where she works.
That's true.
So come see us.
But she's still a waitress?
Probably not.
Probably
I'm
not.
assuming not.
I don't know. But y'all, she came out and she basically says, I'm gonna let you finish, but
No, she said, I'm going to stop you right.
I'm gonna
she
stop you. I
said
was
to
doing- I
Shaun
was doing
Robinson, yeah, she said, but I think it's even more dismissive.
It
that
is.
She said to Shaun Robinson, so I'm going to stop you right there. And she said,
the audacity of this bitch.
and she said, I am going to have no part of seeing Ed on a date with someone else. That she's like, I don't get into that negative space. And I went, wait, so you're all about airing all your negative shit about Ed on social media and calling him out.
Right. And then she says, why do you want to show? She's like, Shaun, why do you want to show this to me? And Sean's like, well, as soon as you get your own show, you can do anything you want.
Boom.
Red for Phil.
Red for
She
Phil.
metaphorically slapped her in the face. She took off her glove and slapped her with it.
And it was,
I challenge you
Great.
to a duel.
and then the rest of it, they bring on Kaori, who's just kind of like, someone give me my check.
She's there.
She's just there. I love that. All you need to know is that Ed keeps thinking that Kaori was so in love and enamored with him. And the whole time you can tell Kaori's like, yeah, I wasn't into him.
And at the same time,
So obvious.
Ed kept saying that, the only void I could not fill was Liz. And so we are left with two things to believe.
It's revisionist history.
It is.
Is what it is.
Right?
It is not what we saw on the show, although
So,
we even fast forward his
He's
segments.
full of shit.
Full of
But
shit.
you guys already know that.
But
So
you
is Liz. You know who's not full of shit? Kaori.
Kaori.
Because Kaori, we did not watch these segments, but I watched a couple of things where we didn't talk about them, but Kaori said one time to him, and they showed a clip. She's like, can you be quiet and just be here for a second? And Ed was so confused. And that is the one thing he cannot do.
No.
He is incapable of that.
Yeah, incapable. Sean,
Of listening.
yeah, he's incapable. So it really is that Ed and Liz have now doubled down in this codependent and the right word to use for this toxic relationship. I believe that they tell each other all the time, it's just you and me against the world.
100%.
And they actually believe that. And these are the type of people that raise children that drive you fucking crazy at your PTA meetings that your kids have to deal with. Just crazy,
I hope they never have
self-indulgent,
children.
narcissistic children. They'd be horrible parents.
I hope she already has a kid. And
And let's hope they don't have any. And Ed has his dog. Oh, wait, didn't the dog
no,
die?
the dog died.
Well, he can get another
Ed
dog.
has children. Ed has the daughter.
Oh, yeah, he has his daughter that doesn't speak to him.
Yeah.
Forgot about that. And
Yeah.
his mom.
Speaking of daughters that don't speak to them or wish they didn't speak to them, we're talking about David and Annie on our season
boy.
5.
Boy.
Yeah,
Y'all.
we're gonna be like we just did the watch along a couple weeks early, but we met Ashley, but we watched that scene where Ashley and her brother
And she
had
throws
dinner.
water in David's face. It is... Oh.
Very much giving me Angelina from Jersey Shore vibes.
Oh God,
with
y'all.
the makeup.
And if you're not into our class list, the $5 tier, we just saw the Owl episode with Molly and Louise.
Yeah.
First of all, I just want to say, I thought it was a real owl. People mentioned it. I
You thought
she
it
had
was an actual pet owl.
I thought she had an owl in a cage that we hadn't seen yet.
Yeah.
And he was free, but it was even crazier. We were.
I could not speak for 4 minutes.
Yeah,
Christina had to put something on the screen that says, okay, this is for you queens to breathe.
and she was right.
We needed that time. I gasped.
I have to say, it's not even about our Patreon, although I would love for you to subscribe and listen. But if you have not watched season 5 of 90 Day Fiance,
Oh, God.
go.
It's the best one so far.
If you're like, what should I binge? That's what you should fucking binge on
That's the
Discovery
one.
Plus and fucking watch that show. And then you can listen to us, but it is so, and even I will say, don't just watch us in the watch along, like watch the season.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. And you get treated to my favorite couple, David and Evelyn.
Oh,
I know. It's just you could not have scripted a better two people
Yeah.
that hate each other more and that are both just completely inseparable for different reasons.
And then we're doing. We thought we were doing 90, but we're doing Happily Ever After.
Happily
next.
Ever After season 3 is the next on our
Who's in
class
that?
list. That is, I think that's Nickel. We get more Nickel.
Do we get?
We get Pedro and Chantal.
We get Andre and Lib.
We get Russ and Pau. That's our last season,
and I
believe.
think this is the first Andre and Lib
It
on
is the
Happily
first
Ever After.
Andre and Libby.
So, all right then. All right, y'all.
I believe Lauren and Alexi we get as well.
Yes, I think so. Yeah. All right, everybody. So that's the dealio. So this is officially the end of season 2 of
It
The
better
Single
be.
Life.
It
We don't
fucking
know
better
when
be.
season 3 is going to drop. What is the next streaming thing to drop? They're doing 90 Day Diaries now. We're doing Love in Paradise. Probably, I bet you they'll do another Single Life after Love in Paradise. I think it would be time then, right? That'll be in the fall.
Yeah, but I don't think Love in Paradise will last that long.
But they take breaks between these, like,
Yeah.
or maybe they'll probably do Bears All, I bet.
Bears All usually runs concurrently.
Yeah. Do you never know with what's streaming?
With Discovery Plus hasn't really set its schedule.
No.
They do whatever the fuck they
do
want.
whatever the fuck, and we're just following along.
But I will say the next franchise of 90 Day, the one that's going to be airing, is going to be Happily Ever After
Yeah, it
season
will be.
7.
7.
Yeah, I have no idea who's on that.
We have no idea.
Um,
I'm excited and scared.
Well, we're on episode. We're halfway through this season. We're probably over halfway.
Yeah, we are.
Because we're episode 9.
Yeah,
Am I
we're
wrong?
over halfway.
Yeah. So I assume there are like 15, 16 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll start in like August, September.
September, probably.
All right, everybody. That's the show. Come see us this summer because summer should be fun. And until then, we call these people lonely hearts because aren't we all just lonely hearts?
God, I forgot
looking
that
for
we do
love
something
in
for
all
this.
the wrong places.
Oh, I know this.
And yeah, if you need somebody to go take care of somebody for you,
Tell him, Mom. Tell him.
I got a mole who's really murderous.
You need me to take somebody out? All you have to do
He's the coldest. He's the coldest. And say hello to your wife.